friends with Todd Manning?
No.
So you're not testifying here today out of friendship?
No. I was subpoenaed.
I see. So all these kind words come out of guilt, perhaps? After all, the man was shot and presumed dead because he was doing a favor for you, which entailed helping save the life of the man you now love. Isn't that correct?
Your Honor, that's at least 3 questions, not to mention a couple of statements.
We all know what she's asking, Mr. Freeman. Are you testifying out of a sense of guilt, Miss Saybrook?
No, Your Honor, I was subpoenaed.
But you're certainly not a friend of Blair Manning's, are you?
No.
In fact, you don't like Blair very much, do you?
I guess you could say that's more or less true.
But after this favor was done, in which Todd Manning disappeared, presumably shot to death, you had occasion to see Blair, didn't you?
Yes.
Was she upset about her husband's death?
Yes, very much.
She grieved?
Yes.
But eventually, she moved on with her life and began dating. In fact, it happens, she began dating the man for whom her husband was presumably killed. Nothing wrong with that, though, right?
No, of course not.
I mean, after all, you weren't still dating him then, were you?
No.
You were married then, weren't you, to someone else?
Yes.
You're divorced now?
Yes.
How long were you married?
7 months.
You promised to love, honor, and cherish for 7 months?
Your Honor, that's...
I don't think that question is relevant. Let's move on.
Of course, Your Honor, just trying to establish how much her word means. So let's see. Now you're back with the man who is the father of the baby Blair Manning is carrying. Is that right?
If you're trying to ask me if I love Patrick Thornhart, the answer is yes.
Thank you. So then, you must be very upset that the man you love is having a baby with someone else, a woman you've admitted you don't even like.
Look, I am just trying to accept the way things have turned out. I'm not assigning blame to anyone.
You're not? And yet you come here today to testify for your rapist against Blair?
I just told you I was subpoenaed.
You'd rather see an innocent little girl handed over to a convicted rapist than allow her to stay with a woman who's having a baby with your boyfriend. Isn't that true?
All right, that's enough. You leave her alone, woman. You leave her alone.
You will sit down and be silent.
No lawyer has a right to treat anyone in that way. She's done nothing wrong.
Sir, if you say one more word, I will cite you for contempt. Now sit down. Ms. Richardson, if you have a question to ask this witness, then do so. But you will then give her time to respond. Understood? You're not here to impress a jury, and that kind of tactic certainly doesn't impress me.
Yes, Your Honor. I have no further questions.
Very well. Oh, just one moment, please. Miss Saybrook, since you know both parents of the child, Star Manning, which of them would you say would do best with the child?
Your Honor, I was orphaned at a very young age. So I would say that a child should not be deprived of the love of either parent.
True, but that wasn't my question.
I really don't know. Neither parent is perfect.
Oh, well, Ms. Saybrook, when you find the perfect parent, you send him or her to me, will you?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may step down. Mr. Freeman, your next witness.
We'd like to call Asa Buchanan, please.
Call Asa Buchanan.
And Mr. Buchanan, are you familiar with the defendant, Blair Manning?
Yes. I married her and then divorced her. She is pure evil and crazy to boot.
Objection.
Sustained. Mr. Buchanan, just answer the question simply, please.
I did. That's about as simple as it gets, Your Honor. That woman is crazy. She tried to kill me.
No, sir. The question was, are you familiar with Mrs. Manning?
She comes from a long line of loonies.
Your Honor, now I must object.
You are out of order, madam. Please be seated. Mr. Buchanan, unless you are a qualified psychiatrist, I strongly suggest that you stop offering your opinions as to anyone's mental health. Understood?
So then, in fact, Blair pregnant with your child?
No, she was lying as usual. She faked the pregnancy. Can you believe it? She wanted to hang on to me as a husband so I'd keep giving her money. That witch was a gold digger the minute she set foot in this town. Plus, she knew better than to ever divorce me because she knew I wouldn't be there to pay the bills for that crazy, sorry, Your Honor, that psychotic mother of hers still living in some insane asylum.
So when you had this heart attack, you were already on medication, were you not?
Yes.
And where were your pills? Upstairs in a medicine cabinet?
No, they were in the same room on the floor. I could almost reach over and touch the bottle. But you see, I couldn't move. I was on the floor, writhing in pain. Your Honor, when you get the big one, you're going to know what I'm talking about.
But didn't you say Blair was in the room with you?
Oh, yeah, she was there, all right. She's standing there watching, enjoying every damn minute of it.
Objection.
She was smiling, honey. You don't need a psychiatrist to know what a sinister smile means.
Mr. Buchanan, did Blair give you your medication?
No, she did not. As I told you before, she stood there, waiting for me to die. She knew she was still in my will. But I fooled her. I got lucky. She didn't. Because I'm a lot tougher than she thought I was.
Thank you, Mr. Buchanan. No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Buchanan, how many wives have you had?
What has that got to do with the price of gold?
Please answer the question, Mr. Buchanan.
8.
Excuse me?
Are you deaf? 8.
And how many times have you been married?
9. I married one twice. Maybe someday, lady. Maybe someday. This jerk may get it right.
Well, I certainly hope so, for the sake of your 9th wife. Or will this be your 10th? Oh, well. No further questions, Your Honor.
You may step down, sir. Mr. Freeman, your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor. I now call Todd Manning. At this time, did you know your wife was pregnant?
Yes.
Did you know it would be a little girl?
Yeah, well, Blair had a sonogram, and the doctor had told us that we were going to have a little girl.
Were you happy to have a little girl? Many fathers hope for sons.
No, I was glad. I was happy. I still am. Star is a sweetheart.
I'm sure she is. But let's go back to the trip to Ireland. Would it be safe to say that you flew all that way because Paloma Alvarez was a little girl, and you knew you were about to become the father of one?
Sure.
So you were already thinking as a loving parent?
Objection.
Is that a question, Mr. Freeman?
I'll withdraw the remark. Mr. Manning, would you explain to the court what your baby daughter means to you?
Well, I could try.
Please.
Well, she's my life now, and she means everything. Perfect. I mean, well, it's given me a chance to finally do something right. I mean, to raise somebody with all that love and, well, you know, understanding and guidance. I mean, I was raised by a sadist. My adoptive father, Peter Manning, and my biological father, well, he was a sick, twisted man named Victor Lord. And Star is, well, Star is Star, just like her name. She's a sign of hope. And I want to be for her what my adoptive mother was for me before my adoptive father chased her away. And that's someone who always loved and was there and cared and always tried to teach that the world is a good place. See, I've made a lot of mistakes. And I could blame them on my father, but they're my mistakes, and I made them, and I've hurt a lot of people. Marty Saybrook, most of all. And, well, I don't want to do that kind of thing